In this video, I just want to review how to graph a linear function. In the last video, I ended telling you about the 4 different kinds of slope you can get for a line: positive, negative, 0, and undefined. So the positive and negative ones were the ones that have the equation y equals mx plus b. To graph those, we're going to start off at the y-intercept, whatever that number b is, and then we'll use the fact that the slope is the rise over run to find another point. 2 points on a line, you're ready to graph it. If the equation just looks like y equals a number, we're going to know that that's a horizontal line. We just have to find that number, draw a horizontal line at that y tick mark. Likewise, with x equals a number, that's going to be our vertical line. We're going to find that number on the x-axis and draw a vertical line through it. We'll start off with a straightforward one, y equals 2x plus 3. This looks like y equals mx plus b. So when you've got a y equals mx plus b, you're going to start off at that y-intercept, b, which is 3 for us. So I'm going to go up to 1, 2, 3 on my y-axis. That's going to be my y-intercept. And from there, we're going to remember that the slope is the rise over run. So our slope is equal to 2, and that's going to be our rise over run. So to think of 2 as a fraction, I'm just going to put it over 1. So that means on this line, I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 1. So I'm going to go up 2, up to 5, and to the right 1. So at 5, comma 1, that's going to be my next point. You could also think of this slope as being -2 over -1, making them both negative if you wanted to think of it that way. That could mean from the y-intercept, I could go down 2 and to the left 1. This is all going to look very consistent, down 2 and then to the left 1 over here to -1. Right? And all of those points lie on the same line. So we'll just fill it in with a straight line. Next up, 2x minus 3 equals 0. It's kind of tempting to start graphing this one as we would y equals 2x minus 3, but take a look at that equation and notice that there is no y in that equation. The only kind of line that has no y in the equation is a vertical line, and you can see it a little bit easier if I rearrange this. So if I add 3 to both sides, I get 2x equals 3, and then divide both sides by 2, I get x equals 3/2 or 1.5. This is just a vertical line that passes through the x-axis at 1.5. So here's 1, here's 2. I'm just going to draw myself a vertical line in between those 2 tick marks. Next example, x plus 3y is equal to 3. This has both an x and a y in it, so it is going to be a y equals mx plus b, but we really need this in slope-intercept form to make any sense of it. So I'm going to solve this for y. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So I get 3y is equal to -x plus 3. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3, which is essentially dividing everybody in the equation by 3. And I get y is equal to, I get -x over 3. I'm going to rewrite that to make the slope easier to think about in just a second. And then I get a plus 1. All right, so I'm going to rewrite that -x over 3 as -1/3 times x. That makes the slope a little easier to think about. All right, so we're going to start off at our y-intercept of 1. So up here at 1, draw my y-intercept. And then that slope is -1/3. So my rise over run is -1 over 3. So that means I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 3. So I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 1, 2, 3. I could also think of that slope as being a +1 over a -3. If I wanted to, I could go up 1 and to the left 3 instead. So I could go up 1 to 2 and then to the left 1, 2, 3. And then draw myself a straight line through all those points I've got. All right, one more. Last example, f of x equals -4. Now that we know about function notation, they may throw these in here from time to time. Just remember that f of x is another name for y. So this is the line y equals -4. We remember that if we don't have an x in the equation, it's just y equals a number. That's a horizontal line. So I'm just going to go down to y equals -4, -1, 2, 3, 4, and draw myself a horizontal line. So this is all the time we're going to spend on lines. If you need a little bit more of an in-depth review, let me know, and I'll be happy to find you some resources. See you in class.